saying money for PAPs. I can see from the table here, you intended to spend 15 billion. Like total for construction is 100. So breaker, that gives us 114. So give us what you had intended to spend, an extra, this 264, 114, 0.
Chair, as they look for the figures,
52 for 150 billion.
As they look for the figures, Chair, the other components where we were supposed to build a value addition infrastructure.
100 billion is for construction.
I'm trying to give you the value, sir. We were supposed to build value addition infrastructure for, is it called Busolwe? Busate.
And Nawansega.
And
Nawansega
Cooperative Society, as well as give them tractors and weeders and other equipment, a combined harvester and other equipment, I think for about $15 million US dollars. And then the project management was not supposed to be more than 15% of the project total, which is about $10 million. 10 times 7 is about $10 million. 15 times 7 is about $10 million. So if you add 10 plus 10, that's
this is $25
million. That is 75. So if you, the other one, $100 million, sir.
No, not 100. You said 70. You said 71.6 minus 25. Minus 25, you have 0.6, you have 6, you have 46. That's so?
Yes, 46.
You have 40. You have 46.
Yes, sir.
Out of 46, we are breaking down.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Honorable Chair. The 71 million US dollars. It was anticipated the Islamic Development Bank would provide $34 million, which was the 100 billion. Then we were to work with an off-taker called the PAC Rice Limited, who was to make a contribution of investment of $17.4 million. PAC Rice.
PAC Rice was to contribute
17.4 in form
$17 million
and the other things.
Yes.
Then Busowa traders and the farmers cooperatives were to invest 0.405 million. 0.405. 05. Then the government of Uganda.
This is just not million. This is 400.
In million. 0.4 million US dollars.
1.4?
0.4.
0.4.
400,000.
This is 400,000. Yes.
Then the government of Uganda to make a contribution of 19.217. That is the one that was making the total of 71.17, Honorable Chair.
You said the ISDB. Yes, is how much?
Honorable Chair.
30 what?
It was the GOU was 19.217.
You have 17.
We have 34, 17. 34 is Islamic Development Bank.
So when you add that, you get 71.16. Those are the funding components.
Honorable Chair, the question you asked was that the components of the project were 4.
Okay.
One was establishing the water storage infrastructure, which was estimated at 32.61.
Water storage at 30?
$2.61
million.
Yes.
2.61. Okay.
32.61.
32.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
0.61 million.
Then the issue on support production, provision of inputs, and the other recurrent costs around that was estimated at 9.09.
9.09. Okay.
Honorable Chair, working with the farmer organizations, strengthening and providing for marketing issues was 3.42.
3.42. Okay.
Then project management issues was 5.24.
Was
And-
5.24.
And 10% contingency was 6.47.
Was 6.4.
47, that is the total of 71.16.
Okay.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Now we go. Of this component, so you are saying when we go back to query 1.11, money for PAPs
Compensation
was all supposed to come
part of
from
the
DOU.
resolution, Honorable Chair.
DOU. So the 14 billion
Yes, Honorable
was supposed to come from DOU.
Government.
You are telling us you managed to compensate at least the site where the construction was to take place.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And therefore the contractor had a site.
Yes.
You know, that's why I'm moving
Yes,
systematically. The contractor had
The site.
a site to work with.
Yes. And he had even established his.
No, we'll go there. So you had a site. So the big issue you get from 1.1, that much of the compensation was not done comprehensively.
Yes.
But for purposes of where
To
the
start from.
site were to start with,
Yes.
you managed to clear.
Yes.
Then you can proceed. Because this is not your fault. You did not get the money. The problem lies elsewhere. But did you make efforts to ensure you have? But of course the question is, if you have not cleared all these other people and you go up to offer a contract, somebody will get stuck. But we shall get there. I know this. I've read through this project. We shall get there. Colleagues, can we proceed to?
Verified.
Chair, the verification is ongoing, and we are verifying them.
But sir,
We are verifying finding to own the land. You know the problem of land ownership in Uganda.
yeah, but the challenge is, failure. In an ideal situation, you are still verifying compensation.
Chair, these are operational issues. You know, the problem of operational issues is that in the ideal situation, this is what you get the money from here and from there. Because at least now, if we finish the verification, if the project comes back online, we shall have a list.
No, let's speak for the animal that you have on table.
Yes, sir.
For in the parliament, we don't legislate to deal with what it is. Now, her question is, you are at the tail end of a project in terms of project schedule. But as late as July, by the time of audit, 5 months to completion, had it come through, you are still verifying
I
people
agree,
to
Honorable.
compensate.
That's why we had to change management. Because, as you recall, sir, they said the project started in 2014. You signed the contract in 2022.
Yes,
That alone is a red flag. And then started construction in 2023. 2024, these people are still compensating. So really, it's an admission, sir, that there were some management gaps somewhere.
Did you have a consultant?
Yes, we did.
And you paid him? And you could not identify. Was he an expert on these matters?
Yeah.
We even had, we are in really serious discussions with many of these people because of the issues you are raising.
No, because the purpose of why you hire these experts is to be able to navigate these challenges seamless, so that the project moves on schedule and on time, and you pay them handsomely, beyond the average Ugandan. And you seem to have a project that gets stuck from the word go with an expert. So what kind of expert is this one?
Chair, that is why, as the accounting officer, I have had some, I would say, serious discussions. I've asked those very same questions that you are asking.
Do you have any evidence to show that you've
Yes,
taken
sir.
action?
Yes, absolutely. We shall table the evidence, sir.
Which evidence?
I have written letters. I have written to various letters to the concerned authorities. I've pointed out certain issues. Actually, as I speak now, that's why I'm very hesitant to say a lot of things, because we are in arbitration with some of these people, and I don't want to give them evidence.
But arbitration is not it's sub judice. But you know, the Harry Truman said the buck stops with you. The reason why they take generals to some of these agencies is that generals are smart planners, smart executors. They deal with matters of life and death. So once they're in charge of a project, they navigate, they gather intelligence, do all those things, and once they're in the move, they've literally understood the entire environment and situation and seem to have an antidote to all challenges that are like. Now, a general comes in an agency and his business as me as a civilian.
Sir,
I'm not being personal.
No.
I'm only emphasizing the point that for all this story, the buck stops with you.
I agree with you, sir, and in as much as that's why I took the steps that I took, and I can tell you, outline to you: 1, change of management; 2, change of the way we do things; 3, ensure, because all these project managers now know that instantaneously what happened to the previous one can happen to them, and people know that there's no playing around with government money. So I agree with you, sir, that ultimately the response, although to some extent, sir, I would beg your indulgence, because some of the actions that created this situation, actually all the actions that created this situation, occurred before I became permanent secretary.
So
Actually, I can say,
let's go slow there.
I came in to solve the problem.
Where I want you to go slow, let's discuss 1.12. It may tell us a lot.
Interest in the issue of the PAPs. These are the wananchi who cannot have access to some of the platforms that we do have. The permanent secretary needs to furnish us with evidence on the update on how far they have gone in verifying some of these PAPs and the plans that you have to pay them. Because here, when you continue down, they indicate that because of these delays, you are going to incur an extra cost of 15% from 8 billion to 11.4 billion. Where are you going to get this money?
Chair, I promise it very well. These are civilians, these are your people. And really, it's not fair to tell people to stop if you have not paid them. That's why we prioritize when we got very little money, which is a third of what we were supposed to get. We prioritize those areas on the dam axis, which would start. So we've told other people to wait. We have valued their land. We have discussed with them about the value of this land, and we have told, they're actually very, very enthusiastic to move away from the area. And as soon as we get money, we shall pay. So, and we've turned, I think, the situation around, because before, I can tell you that people did not like that project very much.
Okay, can you go to 1.2? 1.2. You've done, executed your work from your point of view. We are not even faulting you. You've done this project, you have no capacity to supervise, you contract. Okay? You put in place a project manager to do the work. And this is what it is. And this is what it is.
I was going to explain to you, sir, that again on Monday, we shall avail you the full contract supervision, what do they call it? Contract management file. which indicates the various communications between ourselves and the supervisor, ourselves and the contractor, between the contractor and the supervisor, outlining all the issues that you're talking about, because these issues were known and really we came in. That's why we are in arbitration, because we have written, as you said, because I think the important things you have said, sir, is that we did the work, we set in place the systems. Some of these systems did not work. What happened? The action was taken and we have the communication on file. And actually there are even other actions which we have taken, which involve even, as you'll see in the next section, precautionary measures to make sure that people don't get money from that.
Sir, what we are dealing with for the...
it cannot be a loss.
No, the loss in terms of the money you advance to a contractor. It cannot be somebody who was supervising, the manager who was in charge, the other fellows, the country. From before you go, I know the loss is much more. Because you are spending, these people are visiting a site, they were seeing, they were going there and saying no progress, and they were comfortable. So for all those losses, the personality that incurred this loss to a country cannot just put on a suit and a tie and walk freely.
That's why I agree with you, sir, with the greatest of respect, whether there was a negligence, because we really, I think, in my view, did everything that was humanly possible to make sure that these people do not go away.
I don't want to put it to you, because now you are putting yourself, question I wanted to put to you, that it was not a failure on your part, which I don't want. That's why I've said, when you did your work, you had a project manager, you put a project consultant, you paid them, you paid an advance. Oh, the site was cleared. These equipments, they were faulty. Who was responsible? I don't expect you to be the one who is going on this site every day. So who are the people you are sending, seeing non-functional graders, non-on-site? Because this man simply called you. He simply called you and walked away with the 15 billion. Not only 15, because I know there is much more.
And Chair, that is why, General.
And at the country, if you go through, you look at the commitment fees we paid on this loan, and the cancellation cost, because you don't just wake up with the bank and say, I've cancelled the cost, and us continuing to eat poor rice. As a country, you know, people are suffering from non-communicable diseases because of the quality of rice we eat and blah, blah, blah. And lack of exchange. We are losing dollars on exchange because we are importing food. All these things should have been mitigated by this project. That's what I think that is the intention. Now, here we are 10 years down the road from inception of the project, we have the project cancelled, and some officers are not brought to book. Just imagine you are in my chair, sir, and you are the one who is consuming this report.
Chair, I agree. As we go through the report, you find that a lot of action has been taken to address most of your concerns. But as you say...
You know what we want to recommend? When we want the consultant, we want him blacklisted. You are not going to come to government, do shadow work, move from one job, go contract another. That's why we want, who is this contractor? We want to move parliament to say, let this contractor be blacklisted. Because if need be, compensation. We pay you money to do a job, you don't do it, zero performance, and you are there sleeping in your bungalow. So we are saying we need these details for who? Even this company here, who is the director? Because it's not also in heaven. We need these directors here. I think on this we need the directors. Forget about the arbitration, because when we go here, they are acting as if you failed and they want you to. I've seen here, they are demanding the balance of the contractive sum for no work done.
That's why I'm
And
willing
somebody
to
has
hold
the capacity to even pretend to government. You don't do work, you've been constructed, you have the courage to say now you compensate, you give me money for work I didn't do.
That's why I'm willing to go
No,
to record.
please, we want to have them here in Parliament. I'll have them arrested. Because I'll have them arrested and aligned. Because with you, they are pretending they are doing some work. We want, this company is called who? Please, note.
Let him be on record. General.
This company is called what?
Two companies. The consultant and then the main contractor.
No, we want the consultant.
Yes.
We want that company. We want also the directors of PAC and that cooperative thing. Because what we are saying, it could have been a conspiracy of all those actors to defraud government. And Simon Ebong. We want these people to come here and take charge. So, until we produce those stuffs on Monday, we will not proceed more with this project. We want to have a meeting. It should be Tuesday. No, it should be Wednesday. Sir, we will beg you for Wednesday. Thursday? No, we can remove. No, we are going to. No, I want to agree with. He's a busy man. He can fly out. I know him. No, trusting him with this general here is a true muyekera. It's not easy. I'm just being kind.
I kindly would request, sir, that we first and foremost give you the documents, you scan through them, and then if you find within your that you need to see these people, then we would schedule.
No, we need to see them.
It would save a lot of time.
But what we are saying, our recommendation, sir, is that on Tuesday, on Monday, you are providing every relevant document for our consumption on this project to aid our work. But secondly, there is no point of us continuing this failed project with discussing it here without those relevant officers. Okay? He was not in charge for better part of where should we crucify him? You are not the supervisor. We want to see this so-called courageous contractor who does this level of deployment. And along with the audit report, the gentleman is saying, because we want to discuss this detail, because they are there arbitrating what on failure. And we will summon him, we will pursue him and get him. Because even sometimes we blame government, parliament, but even the private sector actors are doing a shorter job. We give you, this is why, is there Mzungu or China? Is an Indian?
What is, they are Indians, the contractors. I don't know, I don't go.
So please, we are going to work with you. We are going to, we are going to work with you, have them in this building here, and have this business of arbitration. They are here in the report I've seen. They want government to pay 100%. To hell with them. So how can, so this project here, we want all those people, because as we speak now, we've lost billions as a country. But when the loss is not just about money, it's about the whole service that we would have gotten out of this project. So this project, we pause it.
But just as you pass, to be fair to you, imagine you people were very strategic. The area that was compensated was to start the dam and so on. So if even this contractor was fair enough, some works should have been there. as he waits for money to now conclude the other lower areas.
No, the money was there. The money was there. This contractor, let me tell you, this contract be paid by the Islamic Development Bank. Not so? The bulk of the payment was by the Development Bank, I think, required progressive, the so-called, the supervisors, experts you get. You pay them contracts. They sleep on the job. And us politicians from those areas are paid just go like this. So we pose it, honorable colleagues. Are we right? You wanted to say something?
No, Chairman, thank you. I'm sorry for coming late. I had some small engagements. My name is Segumire Chibedi Mohammed, Member of Parliament representing Mitiana North constituency and member of this committee.
And I don't deal with your ministerial statements. Those ones I'll catch up with them in next year audit. They will still be those ministry things. We want to solve this problem and we are going to name every project manager that has not performed. And we are going to demand they be sacked. And some of you, please, let me recommend to some of you. You sit down, conceptualize these projects, do a lot of research. Because this other man of day who buys guns and bullets, and this is the money that goes towards service delivery. And put a kid in school. Where is the manager of cluster? Is it you? No, I needed another project.
So I will ensure, sir, that this evidence is available to you.
No, what I mean, don't you demand the evidence that